Good evening. All right, we're ready to get started, even though none of you responded. Marginally better, just marginally better. How many of y'all can actually see who's up here versus looking in the sun? Not many. All right, fair enough, because that's fine. All right, so believe it or not, it wasn't that long ago that you were sitting here all staring into the sun as well, although it was in the morning, so the sun was behind us. But you were at the beginning of this journey that I encouraged you to think about what you wanted to get out of this week beyond just how your boat performs. And I'm curious, if you feel like that you achieved something other than the performance of your system, your boat, raise your hand. Very cool. I think that's great. Give yourselves a hand, because that's important. And I hope that now, because I think roughly 2/3 of you were first-timers, hopefully you understand and you can take away from here what we want you to take away more than just the technical knowledge. Because there's so much more that this community and what these opportunities will bring to you, not only now, but as you move forward in your career path. And we're excited to see all that take place. Along that line, I also encourage you, for any of you that are on LinkedIn, which was a big number of you, to reach out, number one, to connect with each other, help establish and continue those relationships. But you can also connect with any of us at RoboNation. So I encourage you, as you move away from here, as you catch up on your sleep, you go back, do that. Make that one of your action items as you're starting to wrap up what happened at RoboBoat 2025. Okay? So we'll be expecting a whole bunch of invitations to connect on LinkedIn. Cool. All right. So for those that may or may not remember me, my name is Daryl Davidson. I'm the president and CEO of RoboNation, and we're the ones that have the great joy of putting on events like this, mostly so we can watch your interaction and watch the development and all of the dynamics that happen with students and individuals from all over the world. From our perspective, it is the most gratifying thing that we do. And I want to just thank all of you for being here, for making tremendous efforts to get here, and for allowing us to take part in watching you grow and develop for the last week. So thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to kind of move through this, but there are a few things that I want to point out and bring up that were significant this year, things that we've never confronted and dealt with before in any of our events, and we've been doing these for 30 years. I want to thank the staff, the judges, the volunteers, and all of the technical directors team that are the ones that work to put this together. As I'm sure most of you are aware, we lost a tremendous group of our judges, the professionals, the people that work for the various Navy labs and others that got yanked back to their home base and had to go home on Thursday and Friday of this week. And so we literally lost about 25 people of roughly 40 that helped put this together. And a credit to Lindsay and Juliana and their whole team, and Bill and his team, that we found a way to enlist people that had never done certain things before, and we also found a way to hopefully make it invisible to all of you. The only thing that changed was the amount of food that we were able to bring to the tent, because we had 25 fewer mouths to feed up here. So I know that most of you benefited from that extra food that came your way. Well, that was because we were feeding less of the judges and other people. But the effort that went on behind the scenes was phenomenal. And I want to thank our staff and the judges and the technical team. So let's thank them as well. All right, so we're going to move into the awards, and the first one I have is the Team Engagement Award. So the Team Engagement Award is presented to Lake Superior State University. Exactly. So the reason that they won this award is for outstanding commitment to community, collaboration, and positivity. We proudly recognize Lake Superior State University. Their engagement with other teams, consistent storytelling, and dedication to all parts of the RoboNation family embody the spirit of RoboNation. A special shout out to Haley, whose passion and media efforts have not only shared LSSU's journey, but have also made the entire RoboBoat community feel welcomed and connected. Congratulations to LSSU for inspiring and uniting our community through digital media efforts this year. All right. So now I want to acknowledge the sponsors that are the ones that really make this happen, because they all provide money and input, things that help us pay for all of this. Our key partner in this activity is the U.S. Office of Naval Research. Let's give them a great big hand, because they're the ones that started this. We also have sponsorships from MathWorks, Blue Robotics, and a list of others that have all contributed to help us make this happen. And so we can thank them, look them up, and connect with them in the future, because they're all invested in you and in this activity. And speaking of the Office of Naval Research, I'm going to introduce our next award presenter, which is Kelly Cooper. Now, Kelly actually retired from ONR 2 years ago, almost. 2.5. Year and a half. I rounded it up. So Kelly is the one that's here because all the other ONR people were part of that group that got yanked back to DC and beyond. But Kelly is perhaps the most significant because RoboBoat was Kelly's idea 17, 18 years ago. So she's the one that actually conceived of this and who basically helped work with us to start this and put in place this legacy of a program like this that you all are getting to take advantage of and to learn from. So it's very appropriate that I turn it over to Kelly to represent ONR and the judges. Kelly?
I'm not as tall as Daryl, so I think I'm going to lose it. Son. Here, we'll do it this way. So I have a couple of awards that the judges always get together and talk about all the special things they saw. We collect all week long a number of nominations for special awards from all of y'all based on who you're interacting with. And we do not want to in any way discourage you from continuing to do what you're doing. These are just examples of exemplary behaviors and things that we observed, and we want to call them out in the hopes that you will continue to follow those and continue to try to do all of the things that we find very special. Life is like a RoboBoat competition. You never know what you're going to get. We had weather, we had shutdown for lightning, shutdown for wind, we had a time change, we suffered from changes in government policy. So you all have persevered and done very well, and I'm really happy to see how this competition has grown, and we've left it in really good hands, and I'm happy that I am retired so that I could be here today. The first award I want to give out is something that is from me personally. There was a team that was at RoboBoat this year for the very first time, and they have competed. They were one of the original teams in the Robot X competition. And they have joined us at RoboBoat so that they can keep continuity year to year and keep their Robot X team going. And I thought that was an excellent strategy. And I was very sorry that they were unable to make it to Robot X 2024. And so will the two representatives from Kyushu please come and collect 2 of my water bottles that are unused and saved for you to have swag from the 2024 Robot X competition. And understand, and I will mispronounce, but Keizoku is for persistence in Japanese, and that you showed up in the face of all the challenges that you had, and that you are going to participate in RoboBoat because of what it offers you in other competitions. We like the way you found a new path, and so we want to acknowledge that. All right, the next award is for a team that did an excellent job in explaining their STEM projects, their outreach, and were able to describe what sort of impact it has on them and their community. We evaluated some 15 submissions for outreach and education, and we want to encourage everyone to do this. So this is sort of self-reporting. We know people haven't reported that are doing it. We want you to look to those examples that are on the website and available on the RoboNation website, so you can look for other ideas of things you might do to enhance your STEM and outreach programs. But this team just does an incredible job year after year, recruiting members, holding events for their community. And for the STEM Impact Award, we would like MIT to send one representative with us. You get a check for $300. And they mentioned that they were having some problems and needed new thrusters, so 2 Blue Robotics thrusters with the ESCs. That's a fine example of knowing that you need something and mentioning it to someone who might be able to help you. All right. The next award is for our Rising Innovators Award. There's a school that was a first-time entry this year, and they were unable to complete their boat design and bring it with them. However, they completed all of the design documentation, and when we evaluated them, they had a clear design, they had a clear strategy for manufacturing that design. They held themselves to the standards of being evaluated by all of the presentation judges, the evaluation judges, and they passed a safety inspection having a complete e-stop that worked with their system. So the Rising Innovators Award goes to Humber, and they get $100 and 2 thrusters with ESCs. I'm sure you can use the equipment. Yes, I did. Yeah. I am sorry, I got a little bit out of order, so I'm going to go back. And there are, speaking of asking for help, there was a team that recognized they had a challenge getting in the water. All of their water has been frozen since December. And they reached out and asked if there were any teams that could help them. They recognized they needed help, and they asked for it. And they looked for these resources within the RoboNation community. There was a team that stepped up. UCF Haggerty allowed this team to come and use some of their test facilities. They stored some of their equipment. They aided them with transportation and shipping. And they, really stepped up when asked to step up. And we really want to encourage those collaborative relationships. So for Collaborative Excellence Award, a check to UCF Haggerty High School for $200 and to MUN for $100 plus a thruster. So both teams can send one member up. MUN seems to realize that great engineering is a mix of resourcefulness and teamwork as well as technical skill. So we like to see them employing all of those. All right, and the next award then is to a team that was nominated in several categories. They are a relatively young team, this being their 3rd year at the event. However, they have really embraced the notion of cooperation between and among teams, sharing data, sharing equipment, sharing advice. They know in their first 2 years they learned a lot and benefited by other teams sharing with them, and they were able to reciprocate and truly exemplified and embrace the philosophy of cooperation at RoboNation. And so we also thought they were very innately curious, and we want to encourage their future curiosity. Don't stop asking questions. Don't stop learning. And a Data and Discovery Award for $400 to James Holmes.
High five. Those fuego. 5, 10 fuego emojis in the chat.
One of the things that we look for as assessment judges is that teams have a fundamental understanding of why they made some of the decisions that they made. Many times it's, well, we picked this hall and we had problems with it. We picked this system, we had problems with it. And so they spend their time enamored with that system and then curing all the problems that it induces, without really understanding the rationale of why they picked the system to begin with or why they made that design decision to begin with. But there were 2 teams which are both going to get a Systems Engineering Award. The first is Team Inspiration. This team fundamentally understood the limitations that they were facing at home, the constraints that they faced, and how some of their design decisions they knew were not the best choice for technical excellence out on the course, but they knew it solved another problem that they had, that they didn't stubbornly just ignore that problem. They embraced all of, from a systems perspective, designing, and they really understood it. And then a second team was able to do very similar description of what they chose, why they chose it. They have a clear 2-year development plan, a custom designed trimaran hull, modular propulsion system. They showcase a strong foundation in design and optimization, and that is Team Navier. And with that, I will turn it over to a professor from the U.S. Naval Academy, who I am just thrilled worked with Chris from ONR, the program officer, Chris Bazell, to become the lead judge this year and work tirelessly the entire year to make all of the wonderful changes and updates and improvements to the RoboBoat competition. Thank you, Carolyn.
Okay, so it's my pleasure to be able to announce our Design Documentation Awards. So these are the ones that you've put all that time and effort into and submitted before you ever even showed up and set foot here in Florida. So remember, there were several things you had to do. So for our awards here, we give the award for the top of each of them and then the overall combined. So for top website, it's going to go to UPRM RoboBoat, Puerto Rico. And then we also have a team that did particularly well on a number of different of these design documentations. So for top team video, top design presentation, and top system assessment, it is Sim Lee Sea Sentinel from Gdansk. For the top technical, so we did that one, sorry. For the overall top awards, there was a tie for second place overall to Baranustra ITS and to University of Michigan.
One from Indonesia and one from the US.
And for the overall top design documentation, a team that just showed consistent performance across all of the elements, it goes to MIT Arcturus with best place. And now I'm going to turn it over for the Autonomy Awards to the Technical Director, Bill Porter.
Good evening, RoboBoat. For the 4 years that I've been the Technical Director of RoboBoat, I've noticed that we may sometimes have a theme going into the competition, but we almost always have a theme coming out of the competition, and that theme is set by you guys. This year, I think it's indisputable to say the theme is perseverance. Perseverance to fight to get on the course no matter what the weather. Perseverance no matter what the setback, no matter what the breakdown, no matter what the water ingress, to get back out there and try again. Perseverance for Igor to go for the award for most questions asked. And even if you probably noticed, perseverance of the staff left on site to make sure this competition ended as if nothing happened. You may notice the water is now clear. A combined 2,800 pounds, or the weight of a Honda Civic, has just been pulled up by a few key people in the last few hours. I would ask them to stand to be recognized, but I think their backs and knees deserve a break. So can the rest of us stand for them? And again, I do want to recognize the group that couldn't stay. Because I can tell you it was very emotional for them to leave. They wanted to stay. So I'd like to take a selfie. I'd like all of us to say, we miss you. 1, 2, 3. This competition is run and put on by passionate people. And those were passionate people. All right, some quick notes. All teams, please pick up your qualification passports before you leave. All teams will have qualification passports. Please pick them up. As I start announcing the awards, we need one team member again. Just one team member to come up and get the awards. Any questions? No, one. In 7th place, and a check for $500. Turkish Naval Academy. Wait, gotta get a picture. sixth place, Florida Atlantic University.
Did you get the name? Florida Atlantic.
Fifth place,
Florida Atlantic.
Cornell University. In fourth place, AGH University of Chicago. And that was a check for $1,500. In third place, University of Michigan for a check of $1,500. This is where it gets good, right? Second place, and a check for $2,500. Universitas Sabas Maret. And finally, for this team, the entire team, please come down. For this team, the entire team, please come down to pick up your check for $4,500. A champion banner worth a lot more than that in my book. Institut Technologique Sepol November. ITSM, come on down. Whole team. This has been a great year. The cooperation we saw in Sea Village was amazing. I hope you keep this learning continuing at home. I hope you document everything you learned here. Should we do a pledge for documentation? But anyway, it was great to be your technical director. I hope to see you again next year. I'm going to turn it back to Daryl Davison to discuss the last in-water time slot.
All right, this is it, and then you're going to be free to go. So, as Bill cleverly put it, the last in-water time slot is also called a pool party. And the pool party will start at 8 o'clock at the Amenity Bay Hotel. Even if you didn't stay at the hotel, you're welcome to go to the pool party. Back in the 50s and 60s, before any of you were born, there used to be a thing where people would find out how many folks you could stuff into a Volkswagen Beetle. I know there are a handful of people that remember that. Exactly. Yeah, right here on the third row. Okay? So we're going to see how many people we can get to the pool tonight. No vehicles allowed. First time and only time. 8 to 10, pool party. We want to shut down Team Village and shut it down by 7:30. So if you have things to get them out of there, please. And lastly, now that we're done with all of this, you can get up on stage, take pictures if you want to. If you linger for a few minutes, there will be a gorgeous sunset behind us. You can take pictures with any of the backdrops, including the Jumbotron, the water behind us, the tower. You've got free run. Do what you want to do with it. But take all the pictures that you want. Tag us on social media. Connect with us on LinkedIn. Congratulations, RoboBoat 25 teams. We're very proud of you and look forward to seeing you next year. We will be announcing the dates for next year probably within the next 2 weeks. It should be about the same time next year. So go ahead and book, make your flights, get visas, whatever it takes, because it's not easy. Thank you. Congratulations. We'll see you soon.